look, Sam's the guy that we want back, and now the league a few years back put in a rule that allowed you to dress a third, but he had to be on your active roster, right? Every team in this league, when the season starts, is going to have 3 in the building. And the question is just simply, what's the third in the building? Is he active or practice squad? I think a lot of it varies when you look at the other components of your roster.
It was cut day out here at Broncos headquarters, and we talked to Sean Payton after, and as you heard, Sam Ehlinger was this close to making the team. They definitely want him back in the building, especially what he did in this final preseason game this last week. He looked really good, and it looks like he fits exactly what the Broncos want in a quarterback, so expect Sam to be back.
Yeah, and the difference between him and Zach Wilson last year is that Zach Wilson probably would have been picked up on waivers. With Sam Ehlinger, you can drop him, you can bring him back tomorrow to the practice squad, and it should be as simple as that.
And there are a couple of guys that Sean Payton told as they left the building today after they were cut, hey, the door is not fully closed, so expect to be back. In fact, they tell some of these guys, like, you're going to be back on the practice squad. I assume that that's what Sean told Sam Ehlinger. And there was one big-time surprise during cut-down day. Lavelle Bailey did not make the team in favor of a UDFA, making it for a 21 of the past 22 years. The Broncos have that rich history, and it went to an inside linebacker.
We saw, a draftable player. It's interesting because both with Reed and Bailey, they were on the phone, heading somewhere, 6 teams, and I would say identically an hour and a half with me, emailing them information relative to free agent guys that make rosters. Everyone can say, hey, free agents have a great shot at making our team, and yet we had a history. Our scouts did a great job of putting together 17 years 18, 19 years with me as a head coach, and then getting that information. So the process with those 2 players I felt like was almost identical.
Karene Reed, congratulations on being that guy. And man, it seems like the Broncos have identified him as someone they love since the moment they tried to get him after the draft.
Absolutely, and he's one of the undrafted guys that we have been talking about ever since they signed him, because he's an athletic linebacker out of Utah, and sometimes those are the guys who translate better in the NFL. In college, you still find some of those 240-pounders who just want to plug up the middle. He has the range. He kind of looked like a safety out there, and it showed up during camp too. He's filling run lanes. He's making plays in the passing game. Didn't think it would be enough to unseat Lavelle Bailey, but the Broncos decided it was.
Yeah, that was certainly the surprise, and it's interesting hearing Sean talk about how they were in the same position. Lavelle Bailey had his year last year, and now it's Reed that gets that spot this year. And boy, it's clear they wanted him a lot by having Greg Penner give him a call after the draft. And a guy that has gone under the radar this training camp, but maybe shouldn't have, because he made the team as an undrafted rookie last year, made the team again this year, Frank Crum. And he's not just a guy that the Broncos like, he's a guy that got trade interest from not 1, not 2, but 3 teams called about Frank Crum, and the Broncos liked him so much, they said, no, we got to keep him as depth.
Yeah, the talent is obvious. He's a massive football player. That was the calling card coming out, because I think he was 1 year All-Mountain West in 5 or 6 that he was in college. For him, it's just the raw potential. You knew it was going to take some time, and he's still in the process of developing, but the Broncos decided that they still think he has a future.
Man, just the athleticism. He's been a player. We've had 3 teams call on him, and it's the upside and the size and the athleticism, his feet, his protection. We have a clear and a really good vision for what we think he can become, and that ceiling is high. And so, and you can tell there are other teams doing their homework the same way.